This show is purely for informational and entertainment purposes, and does not constitute investment advice. Cryptocurrency and NFTs are extremely volatile assets. You should always do your own research. Viewers should be warned that this episode of the Shufl Show contains strong language, drug taking and some seriously epic NFTs.
Welcome to the Shufl Show, Algorand's first show dedicated to all things Algo NFTs. Our new show will be presented to you by me, your boy, Cooper Daniels, and the esteemed Estefania, better known as NFT Mami on Twitter, and we like to call her Stoner Stef here, and you'll find out why later. Up to date on all the happenings in our ecosystem. It's going to be fun, I think. I think it's going to be fun. We'll initially be dropping 2 episodes a month every other week, and then we'll probably ramp that up if you like it. So hit the like button, subscribe. Today's episode is going to be fantastic. Later on, I'm talking to Benji from Goanna. We'll be talking about the V2 drop happening next month. And you know about it. You've heard about it. Mutants versus zombies. But before we dive in, let's get some stats. Let's do some stats. You guys into numbers? I like numbers, so let's do it. So we're in August. I'm filming this on Thursday, August 25th. So understand that. But already, with 6 days left in the month, we have an all-time high in volume in the Algorand ecosystem. Nearly 5 million algo volume in just August alone. It's pretty incredible, folks. If you look back 1 year from today, August last year, volume in August of last year, 300,000 algo. Now nearly 5 million algo volume in 1 month. Algorand is growing, folks. It's exciting. Now we have a show. And by the way, since March, Algorand NFT volume has only grown every month. It's gotten higher and higher and higher. And with 6 days left, we are very likely to pass 5 million for the first time ever in the ecosystem. With V2 Goanna dropping next month, it's only going to go up. We are growing. We are new. We are at the beginning. All of that. It's a good time to be excited about Algorand NFTs. Fractal Tamers has done 750,000 algo volume, which works out to be nearly $300,000 worth in a few weeks. Basically bootstrapping a game, a monster taming game, and if you own a Fractal Tamer, you are guaranteed a plant monster at the launch of the game. You'll get access to early testnet, and you get lots of great things. The art is done by Block Runner, who did Flemish Giants. This team is really exciting. Fractal Tamers is one of the things that I'm most excited about in the ecosystem. So guys, go get a tamer. Make sure that you lock in a plant monster and all of the other perks that you will receive for having one of these OG tamers. And then topping it off, folks, number 1, it's the Moofies from Gecko Fam. All of the proceeds from Moofies went to charity, or going to charity. And they have done incredible. They launched in the last 7 days. They did 84,600 algo volume. It's insane, and that is all for charity. Gecko Fam Mama over at Gecko Fam is creating incredible things. You have wise uncles. You have of course, you have the geckos, and yeah, that is one to watch. So look, guys, top 3 in the last 7 days. Number 1, Moofies. Hell yeah. And shout out to It's Buddy Man. He's doing some cool work. Number 2, Fractal Tamers. Love it. Number 3, Crazy Goose Flock. There we go. Those are the numbers. Also, big news in the Algorand ecosystem. Zest Capital purchased Rand Gallery. Whoa. I mean, wow. I mean, this is huge. And this is awesome news for a couple of different reasons. Number 1, cracking. Congratulations, man. You built something so cool that you sold it. You sold something. I think this is probably our first exit in the Algorand ecosystem, right? I mean, this is a homegrown thing that was built. It was super cool. And Zest Capital is like, I want that. But everybody, honestly, send shrimp to recoup.algo. Is that okay? Is that okay that I keep doing that? All right. So our next thing, our next segment is Flip, Grip, and Dip. It's our take on Fuck, Marry, Kill, but Algorand NFTs. And today I'm going to be joined by Stef, my partner in crime here, and we're going to do it. So let's kick over to that. Hello, Stef. How are you doing?
Fantastic. How are you?
I'm good. Stef, aka NFT Mami, Estefania, Stephanie. No, Stephanie.
Estefania.
Okay, yeah. All right, Estefania. What about Stephanie? Do you hate that?
No, I hate Stephanie. You can call me Stef or Estefania or NFT Mommy. That's it.
There's no Stephanie. I knew that. I knew I was poking you when I was like, does Stephanie work? All right. So look, here we are. We're doing this together. How do you feel about that?
I'm excited. I mean,
Yeah,
this is my scene. That's the NFT world. I'm
Hell
stoked.
yeah, you're NFT Mommy. So here we go. Algorand NFTs. We're going to play a quick game of flip, grip, and dip. What does that mean to you, Steph? I mean, obviously we're playing on Fuck, Marry, Kill. How are you feeling about this?
This is a degen version of Fuck, Marry, Kill. It's the cooler version where all of us NFT fanatics can come in, choose our favorite, say, not this one, flip this one, and hold on to this one forever.
That's right. So flip is like the fuck, right? And then grip is the marry, and dip, you're just letting it go. You don't need it anymore. You're dipping out. Irish exit. I don't know.
That's the kill.
That's the kill. So, yeah, I mean, look, we have Middle Doug performing in the show. You're getting stoned with Ted from the Popcorn Lounge after this. So what better collection to flip, grip, and dip than Yieldlings, Mostly Friends, and Mingos? Does that sound good?
That sounds fantastic. What's your choice, too?
You want me to start? You want me to start? All right. Okay. All right. I'm going to flip Mostly Friends. I love it. I think they're cool. I love how exciting they are. You know what I mean? Like they change colors. I mean, this is a beautiful flip, if you know what I mean. It's a beautiful flip. And then what should I do? Should I do marry next? Because then I'll do marry next. I'm marrying Mingo. I love Mingo. So I'm going Mingo. And then I hate it because it's the OG and it's amazing, but I'm going to kill Yieldling. There's no losers here. You know what I mean? I'm killing Yieldling. I'm marrying Mingo, and I am going to fuck and flip Mostly Friends. If that's okay.
Wow. So I kind of expected us to have similar choices here, but I actually don't. My hold, so my grip is going to be Yieldling.
Okay.
My dip would probably Mostly Friends, so that's the same. And
no, it's not.
Oh no, it's not. Huh?
No, it's not. I flipped Mostly Friends.
You flipped it. Yeah, so that's my dip. My flip would be the Mingo.
Yeah. Look at you. Well, you showed me that it was your screensaver a second ago, right?
Yeah, I'll show you.
Let's see it. Yeah, let's see it.
Can you see it?
Oh, no, it just disappeared. I think you have to. There it is. You got a nice one. You got a nice one with the sunflower or the daisy eyes. Yes. And you told me that you haven't even dreamt your Mostly Friends yet. You got to go. You got to go. You got to go. You got to go get it. You got to grab some shrimp. You got to go simp for some shrimp, all that stuff. Well, okay. We couldn't have been actually more opposite on this.
Well, I'll give you my logic behind it.
Yeah.
Please. So to me, Yieldling, it has historic value. It's one of the first NFTs on Algorand. And that in itself, I think, is huge. Mingo has like a special place in my heart. But I feel like they're like the middle child, So I feel like that's a good flip in that sense because people are always going to be trading those because they're sort of the accessible point. But Mostly Friends floor is a little low. So that to me, I think is going to dip.
Damn. Yeah. And it's also, there's a lot of them. It's funny because you're approaching it from such a NFT, from such a logical, solid ground. And I'm approaching it from just how I feel. And I think that, that's cool. I think that Mostly Friends are kind of exciting right now and you can change them and all that. So I just think that there's going to be more and whatever. And then I think there's best friends coming. You're going to need 3 Mostly Friends in order to get a best friend. And
wow.
Yeah. So there's some stuff going there. And then, I mean, maybe it's just because pixel art isn't necessarily my favorite, is why I'm. I mean, I like some pixel art. I like yieldlings, by the way. That's nothing against those.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back, or welcome for the very first time, actually, to this segment called Stoner Stef, featured by the Reshuffle. Of course, we thought this was absolutely relevant. What better blockchain to have a Stony Baloney series than the greenest blockchain on the planet, Algorand? All right. And as my featured guest today, I have the wonderful Ted, aka Ted on Crypto, who's going to be joining me for a speed round of some exciting questions. So tune in. Hello, Ted.
Happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me. And I didn't even realize this was the inaugural episode. So I am very honored and blessed to be a part of that. Thank you so much. Coming from you live in the greenest state of the country, Denver, Colorado. I'm just really happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here and taking the time. I'm really excited to see where this conversation goes. We're going to start here and hopefully end up here. So
that'll be great. That'll be awesome.
We're just going to kick it off with tell me a little bit about who you are, what's your background, and what NFT collection are you a part of?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Ted on Crypto. I am a real estate developer in Denver, and I kind of got turned on to Algorand about early last year. It's been a long time now, and after a bit of time in the space, I kind of fell down the rabbit hole of NFTs, and that was in about October. And ever since then, it's been just something that's been more and more ever pressing in my life. I've been mostly involved in a collection of projects like Goanna and Mingo, where I've been really big in building out their sports book and making it a lot of fun. It's where they can go and bet on everything from, we had a bet last week when I was in Mexico on how many margaritas I was going to drink. So that was exciting. And you certainly got the over hit on that. So we like to have fun and are mostly not going out.
I love it. I love the Mingo community. Love the Goannas. It's all great. Actually, a Mingo is my phone background. I would show you, but I have too many notifications right now that I need to close.
That's all good.
But this is a very important part of our conversation, and it's the fact that we need to be a little stoned.
Sure.
What are you smoking today, Ted?
Okay, that's great. I actually got the tab of what I've got here. Let's see if I can pull it up and if it'll be great. It says Grape Stomper, a mellow sativa, 72.48%, 84%, excuse me. And it's supposed to, I think from when I briefly peeled this off in the green room, elicit mellow highs and sort of that kind of nature. But I'm along for the ride, let me tell you.
I love it. So I have no idea what this is, but this is my smoke of choice today. Let's just call it blue. And from how I'm feeling today, I think it's a sativa. So we're going to be definitely going upwards today.
Great. Awesome. Well, I'm glad to be smoking with you, and cheers.
Cheers. So here we go. First question for you, Ted, is if we were in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, who would the 3 Algo fam members be to be a part of your team, and why?
Oh gosh. So that's a hard question right there. I think I went to East Denver, and one of the first and most important, biggest people that I met, I should say, is an individual named Big Beej. And I saw him at East Denver from very far away, and that's because he's over 7 feet tall. So it was a whole lot of fun meeting him and collecting and talking with him and getting a feel for the space. He's in a variety of different collections, and he owns and operates a CBD dispensary in Kansas. So that would be a good first step. I think my second step would probably have to be probably Tim from Linglings and Rugs. He knows how to go and really find a way to trip everyone up, especially with his rugs. So I think that would be a whole lot of fun. And to say the least, he's someone that really has creativity that kind of never ceases to amaze me. So I could kind of view him as like the MacGyver of the group. And then lastly, it would be Yomo, who is the community manager for Elgato and is recently releasing his own project with called the Borks. I apologize if I'm butchering this, Yomo. I'm a little bit high. And he is a professional boxer. So he could go and definitely kind of be our support in military. So I'd feel pretty confident with that.
Yeah, that sounds like a great team to have. And what's the weirdest dream you've ever had?
Okay, weirdest dream I've ever had was I was running around in my house getting chased by these Pokemon, and I had Ash Ketchum on my side, and he had Pikachu, and we just had to go through this like rabbit hole. But like I would open doors, and doors were not where I thought they were supposed to be. It was like if you've ever been in a hotel where your friends are on a different floor than you are, and you're trying to get back to your floor and you don't remember really what floor you're on, and you're trying to figure out where you're supposed to go. It's kind of was something like that. So to say the least, it was strange. Yeah, I guess that would be it.
That sounds amazing. That sounds so fun. I would love to hang out with Pikachu.
Oh gosh, it was a blast to say the least.
Speaking of Pokemon, what's one of your favorite like childhood anime or cartoons that you remember?
I am a sucker for SpongeBob. I love SpongeBob. I live and breathe SpongeBob. Oh my gosh, excuse me. Sorry, this is Chicken, who is licking my NFT flamingo, my 3D flamingo. Excuse me. But I'm a big SpongeBob guy. I loved all the different Nickelodeon shows as a kid. Avatar: The Last Airbender is also something that I can't shut up about. But all those different shows are really great too.
I love that. I totally agree. Definitely the Avatar is one of my faves. Now, if you had a time machine and could travel to any time in the past or future, what time frame would you travel to?
Oh, I would definitely travel to the future so that I could fly in a spaceship. I think that is something that would be really, really fascinating in being able to go just travel such distances in very short amount of times would be very, very cool. But if I had to go in the past, I would probably have to say in like early Japan, right when they found in China, right when they found out about gunpowder, and just kind of watching how they've kind of the cultural and how that technological boost really kind of changed things. I think that'd be really interesting.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. Both sound great. I would love to be on that spaceship. I think I'd choose spaceship.
I think I would too. I think spaceship would by far and away would be the most fun and interesting experience. You could go and it's limitless. So
Now, imagine that you could throw the raddest party ever. What lineup would you have? Who would the three bands that would be on stage headlining?
oh, so I think we would have a warm up with oh gosh, what's his name? Oh gosh, it's Jack Black's band. I'm forgetting. It's oh shoot. Okay. Well, let's say he couldn't make it. We tried to schedule him and we couldn't make it. So we'll go with the Red Hot Chili Peppers then to start. They could go and I think carry the mood and bring it up and elevate it. And then it would be great to have a Glass Animals lead. I think they're kind of in right now, and they would be fun to kind of go and kind of bring into the party. And then I'm trying to think about what would be a good kind of fun, high energy closer to get everyone excited and then kick them all out. I don't know. What do you think?
I think those are fantastic choices. I especially love glass animals, so that's a great selection. But this isn't about me. This is about what you would like to have. So
that's true. When I watched glass animals a few times in person at Red Rocks, which has been notoriously known as one of the best venues in the world, and by far and away, I can attest to that. The way that the big red rocks, as silly as it sounds, really are just could amplify the experience. And the first time I went was back in like 2017, and they were headlining, or were the lead band for Glass Animals was the lead band for Portugal the Man. So
wow,
I guess I would go and have to choose them as my third choice then.
There you go. We have it. All right, now we're going to move into some easier questions, and it might get a little tough. So we're going for some rapid fire here, okay? It's either or. You can only pick one.
Got it.
So would you rather smoke or have edibles?
I think I'd have edibles.
Pizza or tacos?
Pizza.
Twitter or Discord?
Twitter.
Blockchain or crypto?
Blockchain.
Maxi or multi-chain?
Multi-chain.
Art or utility?
Utility.
Nice. Good answers. All right, Ted. Well, that's about it. Now, if anyone wants to follow you, how can they find you?
They can find me on Twitter at TedOnCrypto. That's the easiest way to find me. I go ahead and just kind of post my thoughts on there on a pretty regular basis, and it's certainly a fun follow. So if you want to go ahead and do that, that'd be great. And before I close out here, I want to give a quick shout out to Waffles, who will definitely be too shy to get on camera, so I'm gonna have to move it over there. So yeah, that's me, and I'm happy to be on here for your inaugural episode with Smoking with Stoner Stef.
Thank you for joining us, Ted. I hope you have an excellent rest of your day. We'll talk soon.
Talk soon. Take care. See ya.
Owned with Stef, with Ted from the Popcorn Lounge. All right, so that was fantastic. Thank you, Stef, for that incredible, man. They were stoned, that's for sure. All right, so without further ado, here is my conversation with Benji from Goanna. Benji, what's going on, man? How are you doing?
I'm good, Coop. I'm good, man. How are you?
I am fantastic. All right, look. First off, congratulations on the new platform, and thank you for having me be part of it. I'm excited. So,
thank you, Coop. But I'll be honest, we had to set the whole platform up so I could get you on the show, so I could get on your show.
That's right.
I'm still waiting on the invite for the recoup, man.
I'm just not. And you know what? You finally reached the level that I can actually kind of, what I mean. So, no.
Jokes aside, it is awesome to have you. Thank you for being a part of what we're trying to do with Shufl. I'm super excited to have you on board. Algorand's #1 YouTuber.
Hey, man.
Let's go.
Hey,
let's do it.
If you say it, it must be true. So, well, first off, before we start, I'm imagining that my welcome employee package is on its way with a V1 in it. Is that true? Can I confirm?
Care package is en route, mate.
All right, cool.
Just hope it doesn't get stuck at customs.
Yeah, customs is a place. Yeah, I know a lot of people like to mail NFTs. So, look, you have Shufl. This is a brand new thing to people. So why don't we? I kind of covered it earlier, but hear from you. What exactly is Shufl, and what are you and the Goanna team trying to do here?
Okay, cool. So Shufl is essentially, it's going to be primarily focused on being a secondary marketplace for Algorand, but we want it to be bigger than that. So we want it to be like the home of Algorand NFTs. So there's going to be the marketplace. We're also going to be able to do kind of like custom primary drops or shuffles. And we're building out like this news side as well. So we'll be delivering like regular media. So there's going to be obviously like the Shufl Show with you and Stef, which is like awesome just to have a regular like video show covering like Algorand NFT content and like 100% focused on that, and regular kind of like blog, like news articles as well, keeping people up to date on the space, everything that's going on. Obviously, Algorand's growing, so there's heaps to talk about now, which is good. So yeah, we're just like super focused on that. Really excited by what we've built. I mean, I guess like to give you the backstory, we kind of never set out to do this. When we came to start looking at how we're going to release Goanna V2, it was pretty complicated. Like, you know, we've got eggs, we've got pineapples, we've got zombie bites, and we needed mechanisms where you could interact with, you know, all right, I want to hatch my egg, or I want to combine my V1 Goanna with a zombie bite and produce like the zombified version. Sorry, my dog's just wandered in. Come and say hi, Brinny. You can come on. No, he's.
No.
Oh.
There he is.
Oh, you're going to chill with me and do the interview. That's cool. We're home alone. Everyone else is out.
Is it just you two? You're the only two.
Oh shit! Yeah, it's all happening. This is real. This is live, people. Well, it's not live, but you know, it might as well be.
We are recording it that way. Yeah.
Okay. So, well, right, Shufl. Yeah. So we basically to be able to release V2, we had to build all these like custom bespoke mechanisms so we could do it. And through going through like that process, we kind of had the foundations for a marketplace. And yeah, so we'd kind of done a lot of the heavy lifting, and it was like, well, looking at it, it's like, well, it makes sense. Let's keep going and let's make it bigger. And let's see what we could do. I think for a long time, I've felt, and I know some other people in the space have felt, that on Algorand, we've perhaps lacked, sort of a marketplace experience that was comparable with what we see on the bigger chains like Ethereum, Solana. There's very much a standardized UI kind of that people are used to. And then I've been super focused like the last kind of like 3 months on like trying to onboard people into Algorand NFTs. So we want their first impression when they come on chain and start exploring, checking out Algorand. It's like, oh shit, like this is like everything looks really good, you know? And like there's a marketplace that they immediately is familiar, because at the moment it's a bit kind of fragmented and disjointed. It's like, well, you know, go to NFT Explorer or go to Asalytic, and then from there find your listing, go to brand, go to AlgoX, and then they kind of go to the marketplace and like, oh, how does this work? It's a bit, you know. So we wanted to create somewhere you could explore like a whole collection. You could see what's for sale. You could, you know, it was super easy to like filter by the traits. You could see like the activity that's been going on. And then it just kind of evolved from there. And we were like, right, let's bring in the news and the media side. And yeah, I'm super pumped. Like it's really exciting. I think the dev team that we've been working with, Green and Slurp, like they've just smashed out the park. It looks fantastic. And yeah, we're just super excited to kind of get this out there for the community.
Absolutely. So it's going to be obviously an NFT marketplace where it's going to, it sounds like it's going to have probably the UI of maybe like an OpenSea or Magic Eden, or is that what it is?
That's the goal, right? We want to make the OpenSea of Algorand, essentially. Yeah. You know, Algorand, I mean, it's going to be Shufl, right? Because we do things slightly different here on Algorand. We don't do mints, we do Shufl. So that's the goal. We want that level of like everything we've tried to do. It's like we want to put Algorand so it's like on an even playing field with other chains. So you know, the NFT collections are at the same level that you're going to find anywhere else there, and the marketplace is the same. So like, there's a couple of things that I think are really good features as well that are going to benefit. Firstly, the creator side. I know there's been heaps of discussions within the community over the last few weeks or months around creator royalties. I'm obviously, first and foremost, I'm a creator, so I get it, right? Royalties are, you know, like they're the lifeblood for all of these projects. And I think it's really important that creators are rewarded for their work. And it's also clear, it's transparent. So we're going to have a flat rate. Every NFT that's sold through the marketplace is going to always be a 5% creator royalty. You can't choose. You're not going to be able to drop it and give them like 1% or something. It's going to be across the board, so everyone knows where they stand. So it's good for the creators, but it's also good for the buyers and the sellers because it's super transparent. You know, there's been this kind of push where, you know, we need to display clearly what the royalty involved in each sale is so people know what they're getting. Are they supporting the artist? It's like we want to cut that out and just make it easy for everyone. So it's like 5% across the board. Everyone's happy. Everyone wins. So yeah, that's my kind of royalty rant. And I think, I mean, my goal is that this can then just become a standard across the chain, right? Everyone, all the marketplaces, everyone is going to adopt this, and we can help support creators continue to create work, right? Because without the creators, there's no Algorand NFTs. So yeah, they're the lifeblood of the community, and we need to make sure they're supported and empowered.
Of course. And I would say, just to add, I mean, as a user or somebody that may list, I think that it's just a relief to have a standard, okay, it's going to be 5%. I don't get to change that up or down. So it's just like, because then it becomes political, then you're worried about it. There's a stress that's added on to all of the things. I just feel like it's a good idea to have a standardized just 5%, and it seems reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think there's some people who say, but what if the project's a rug, or what if the creator's not delivering and they don't deserve the royalties? And it's like, well, I mean, one, if it's a rug, you probably shouldn't be trying to offload that and sell that to someone else. Yeah. So like that kind of, like, you shouldn't be selling it, and the market's going to kind of decide, well, if the project's not delivering, there's going to be no demand to buy the NFTs. So, I don't really kind of get that argument that, well, like, we should be able to avoid royalties in like these edge cases where there's rugs. It's like, well, look, if there's a rug, you shouldn't sell the NFT. You've got rugs. Like, don't rug someone else.
No. You're just trying. So at that point,
rug, and it's like, you don't want to be the last one to find out, or So I don't think there's an argument against having royalties. That's the beauty of Web3, and it's about empowering creators. The other side of what we're doing, which I think, again, is unique and sets us apart, is it's going to be really community focused. So there's going to be a flat platform fee on all sales of 3%. And we're going to take this, and obviously, like, that's going to fund like the operations and the day-to-day development and all that kind of thing. But we're going to take 10% of all the platform fee revenue that's generated, and we're going to allocate 7.5% to the Goanna DAO. So it's going to be the biggest community DAO on Algorand, and we're going to directly support them through the marketplace. So, for things like DAOs, it's always a question of like, how do they have like a sustainable source of income or revenue? How are they going to kind of grow? And our solution to this is, well, like, we've hopefully built a product that can be kind of self-sustaining, it can grow, it can generate revenue, and we want to share that with the community and kind of give them exposure to the upside as well. So there's going to be 7.5% going to the DAO, and then we're also going to give 2.5% back to the Goanna Tree Fund. So again, making Algorand NFTs are already some of the greenest out there, thanks to the carbon neutral technology that we've got on the blockchain, which is fantastic. And now, we're going to make them even greener. So it's kind of, I guess it's like 1% for the planet kind of model, but we're doing 2.5%, and it's going to the Tree Fund, which obviously I'm like super passionate about. And
so it's been,
hopefully it's win-win all round, right? Creators, collectors, planet, like, everyone's happy.
And you, I imagine Goanna has planted a lot of trees. How many trees?
Well, we just pushed out the update. So kind of at the end of each quarter, we take the yield, and then we run some community votes through the forest folk holders. The total, I don't know the exact number, but it was like, we broke 150,000. So another big milestone. So we've cleared 150K, 150,000 trees planted, which I'm super excited about. So it's big. And then, the goal, I want to get, the next milestone I've got in sight for the Tree Fund, I want to get us to 1 million trees, like, planted by Algorand NFTs.
Well, you're not even that far away. So, okay, just real quick, we may have some audience from outside Algorand. This is like their introduction. And Goanna, really, look, it's the first blue chip. I think we could safely say it's the first blue chip Algorand NFT. I mean, right?
I mean, I don't know. It's not for me to say. I don't want to kind of blow my own trumpet or whatever. But
pretty much.
You could say like we were the first project to do like 1 million algos in volume.
There you go. And At this point, yeah, what is the volume at this point? Do you know? Sorry, I'm grilling you on numbers.
I don't honestly know, to be honest. It's not something I pay a huge amount of attention to. Try and,
no, yeah, but it doesn't matter.
I kind of let the secondary do its thing. I'm not trying to,
Yeah, you're not like, honey, we just got past, this number. No, yeah. Okay. So the DAO though is something that has evolved slowly over time. So maybe break down a little bit, like what is the mission of the DAO and how that's going to work, or how that does work.
Yeah, cool. So far it's been pretty community led. Earlier this year, like we kind of came together. There was this discussion around like NFT bridges, and that sparked a conversation of, well, like maybe we could all get together and we could go and buy an NFT from another chain. At the time, like Bored Apes was just like pumping, like ETH was through the roof, and they were like out of reach for pretty much everyone, right? Like no one could afford to go and drop like, I don't know, 250K on like a Bored Ape. But like, so as a community, we're like, maybe we could like buy one together. So we talked about it. People were like, yeah, this is cool. I'm into it. Spun up a multi-sig wallet. Some of the trusted kind of long-term members of the Goanna community were like all on the signatories on the multi-sig. And then we kind of bootstrapped it, like duct tape, and like held it together. It's like, right, everyone, if you want to take part, you can. There's no obligation. Send your algos to this address. Someone from the community tracked it all. So we had, this wallet contributed X amount. We left it open for like only a day or two, maybe 48 hours, raised like, I don't know, something stupid like $70,000. And it was like, shit, like this is real. Like people want to do this. So so we went to OpenSea. We chose the mutant ape that we wanted to buy, and we bought it. We still hold it now. Since then we've had like airdrops of like ape token and some of the other verse deeds and stuff like that. So it's been really cool. But I guess the exciting thing for me is it demonstrated to the community. It's like, okay, one, like this is pretty easy for us to do, and two, we've got an activated community who want to do this. So it just evolved from there. We did, several other kind of cross-chain NFT purchases. I think there was a DGOD. I think they just sold it and made like 300 SOL or something, like 40,000 algo, selling it like a DGOD, which was just insane. They bought another ape. They've bought like some Algorand NFTs. They've done like Mingos, geese, and then like it's also kind of evolved in different ways. So we hosted like some AMAs with different projects, like Algorand kind of dApps that were coming out. So the first one was kind of Wairu, which is like the decentralized internet provider working in Latin America. And kind of through that conversation, it was like, well, they were in the middle of their like fundraising. So it was like, well, why doesn't the Goanna DAO? Can we take part in your fundraising? We like what you're doing. It sounds like a cool project. We've met you. We've had a chance to kind of grill you. Like the community obviously believed in what the team were building there, and they wanted to invest. So the way that worked is, again, completely optional. Anyone could take part if they wanted. They pooled capital in the form of algos, or maybe it was USD actually, USDC. But that was kind of like the next level up. To actually take part, you can't just have like, like this is to actually be like, shareholder in a company. It's like, you can't just have, like group of internet friends have like 50 shares in Wairu, whatever, So like those people who like put in, they formed a US LLC. So they formed this specific company, and then that company was able to invest in Wairu. We've also recently, the other one that closed was there was an investment by the community into Zest Capital as well. I guess that you could say that probably makes the Goanna holders pretty well hedged in terms of they've now got exposure to Shufl and Round Gallery. So there you go.
It's like it's like they have an open long and a short. So there we go.
So so if Shufl doesn't work out, or Rand does good, then the Goanna holders will be all right either way.
That's actually pretty interesting that you bring that up.
Yeah, well, Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? Like,
okay.
when we invested in that, we obviously weren't aware that they were going to buy Rand, and that when they bought Rand, maybe they weren't 100% aware of the full extent of the plans that I had for Shufl. But yeah, it is what it is. Wish them all the best. I'm sure they'll do great things, and it's awesome for Kraken. Like, obviously, we came out like all our releases were through Rand. They were huge supporters of Algorand. So I guess like it's a pretty major milestone, right? It's the first like exit, I guess, for Algorand NFT related project. So
I mean,
it's huge.
Kudos to him for sure. I mean, to build something in this new ecosystem and to be able to exit with a nice little, I imagine, soft landing here. I mean, I'm sure he's feeling pretty good. So congratulations to you, buddy.
I think by all accounts, I think he did pretty well. And like he's joined a band and he's going to become a muso. So like he gets to live his dream and retire in the California sun. So yeah, you're in California as well, right? Hopefully you can go and check out a show.
Yeah, is he in Southern California? I should check out his band.
He's like ex-Google, so he's San Francisco, I think. Like
well, I'm up there too. That's where I'm from. So this is really kind of cool. So the Goanna holders, or Goanna, you keep on saying Goanna, I keep on saying Goanna. I'm wrong, right?
I don't even know the right way to say it. I'm not technically, I'm not Australian. I've lived here for like 8 years, but I'm British. I'm a kind of blow-in. So I should probably learn like, Goanna. How you say it probably.
I guess it doesn't matter. That's good.
No.
But I mean, this is exactly what it's meant to be, right? Like you guys are coming together and but now you're making these like cool investments into things you believe in. Like what a club to be a part of, for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's been incredible. And it's happened kind of very organically. And I guess my goal with it is like we want to take it to the next level. Like it's just all happened by like community. Like look, let's go and do this. Let's pull some capital, and like we want to take it to the next level. So part of the Goanna V2 launch, we're going to take like 25% of that primary sale, and we're going to use that to seed like the Goanna DAO. So it actually has its own treasury. Like up until now, everything's been like, community wants to do it. They put their own money in together, and then they've gone and done it. Whereas this is actually going to give them like some working capital to play with. So they should, potentially have like up to a few 100,000 algos, which will be, And then it's like, this is going to be like a really interesting social experiment, right? Like what happens? Are they going to be motivated to do stuff with it? Like where does it go?
Yeah.
I don't know. But that's the kind of beauty of it. And I think it's a really exciting thing to be a part of. And then obviously we're going to have Shufl kicking in like, 7.5% of the platform fees from Shufl. So yeah, hopefully the Goanna DAO is going to be in a really good position, and they're going to continue to be able to hopefully have, a big impact on Algorand NFTs. So really excited for all that.
I can only imagine. And so, okay, so you mentioned it earlier, how complicated, you made you had the eggs, you have the zombie bites, you have the pineapples. Is there strawberries? I feel like I've seen strawberries.
Yeah, there's strawberries. So basically like it's actually, I told the story of how we went and bought this mutant ape to start with. That was kind of we always knew there was going to be a second series. So we dropped the eggs as part of like the end of the staking rewards last year, like knowing that there'd be a follow-up series. So when we did this mutant purchase with the first kind of DAO activity, the community got like really excited. Chankle, one of the like early long-time members, he started like, I'm pretty sure, he like started writing this story, and then we had like a channel on Discord called the Writers Room. And this story came out about, like the Goanna scientists. They trekked across the metaverse. They developed this wormhole so they could explore the metaverse. Meanwhile, Andy the mutant is like sitting at the bar. He's drinking his mutant juice. He can't get home because like the gas fees through the roof, right? He's on Ethereum. He kind of stumbles out of the bar and have a piss in the alley, and then he's like, drawn into like this wormhole portal that's exposed, like falls through it, and then finds himself in the Goanna forest. Now, it just so happened that the NFT that we bought, it was obviously a M2 mutant, but it also carried zombie traits. So in the story, there was this idea of he freaks out, he bites a Goanna, and that spreads the zombie virus through the Goannas. And then as he runs off, he spills his beer, which poisons the Goanna food source, which is the fruit trees. Because obviously, like the Goannas are a tree-loving bunch. Then if they ate the fruit, they became mutants. So it's like, well, it was like this awesome story, but it was like, okay, cool. Well, this is like gives a really good narrative and kind of weaved into like V2. So it's like, right, let's do like mutants and zombies. So it's like, okay, cool. Well, if we're going to do that, if you hold an original Goanna, you should be able to produce like a mutant version of it. And you should be able to produce a zombie version of it and have those traits like carry through. So, you know, if you've got one with like, I don't know, like you've got like the flamingo hat, then maybe it has like a mutated flamingo or a zombie flamingo, you know, so that was why that's where the bites and the pineapples and stuff come in. And then we're like, okay, cool. We want to do like some like mega, like super rare one-off specials within that. So that's where you had like the strawberry and like the zombie virus. They were like, there was only 3 of those.
Okay.
And they represent like the rarest NFTs within the collection as well. So it definitely like made things a little bit more complicated than a regular NFT collection, like both in terms of what we've had to do for the art and for like the drop and how we're going to handle that as well.
Yeah, because I can imagine, well, now you need to kind of match up these traits when they get mutated or turn into a zombie, you know, those V1 traits. So then that's just like a whole lot, you know, it's a lot of detail. And everybody loves these things. So that as a natural transition to V2, there's been a bit of, you know, there's been a like, it's coming soon, it's coming soon, and it's coming soon. And now we're like, okay, now we know. So it's September 16th to 18th, right?
Yeah, there's that weekend in September. Everything's going to happen. Again, sorry to everyone for all the delays. Hopefully now people can see like there's been a bit going on. Like we've got a lot happening. We did talk about like, can we rush it out like quicker? And it was just like everyone was like working like flat out, like super hard. And it's like, look, we don't want to. We're building for the long term, like you know. And if we have to put it back a little bit longer, it would take a few weeks to get it out. It means we can do it properly. We can ensure the drop's smooth, the art's top notch, like all the, you know, there's no mistakes. Like we want to do this and do it right. And like I said, like we're taking a long-term view. So I know like a few weeks is a little bit disappointed. Everyone's like excited to get it out. I'm super excited to get it out. But it's coming. That weekend, let's go.
So what are tell me some of the details, and then we'll wrap this up. But what some of the details about V2? What there's gonna be? We know there's mutants, there's zombies. So let's hear.
So it's essentially like it's 2 collections, really in one. Each NFT's got its own kind of shape, silhouette. Like the mutants are facing to the right, and are perhaps closer in some ways to the original Goannas in terms of like the shape and the silhouette. The zombies are facing the other way and look a bit different. They're darker, they're more sinister, kind of bloody, gory. You've got like a knife through it or a stake in the heart, an eyeball falling out, that kind of thing. Whereas the zombies are very much like fun, colorful, wacky, out there. So we're going to have these 2 different groups. And part of the idea is that sets up this interesting dynamic. So we're going to have like the 2 factions and then have these kind of battles, which will take the form of different kind of like missions, raids, like, you know, between these 2 groups. So we're going to allocate like 50,000 algos as like a prize pool for those kind of battles. So I guess the way that will work is each team or faction, so the zombies and the mutants, they'll each have their kind of like their own DAO treasury. And we'll be able to allocate funding into that. We're also going to take 25% of the mint from V2, and that's going to go directly to fund the Goanna DAO treasury. And we're going to take a further 25% and allocate that to the tree fund as well. So it's going to represent, it's going to really jumpstart the Goanna treasury, which is huge, and it also be a pretty sizable chunk of change going into the tree fund as well. So I'm super excited for all of that.
So for anybody out there that you may not own a V1, but they own a V2, are they going to be able to participate in the DAO, or what is going to be the difference between somebody that has a V1 and a V2?
Yeah, so the V2 holders will get exposure to the DAOs. They'll have less kind of access within that. We're still trying to work out like the weighting of like voting power and that kind of thing. Obviously, all of the V1 holders, if they've been a long-term holder, and they've played it right, they'd have 3 V2s anyway, because they'd have an egg, a pineapple, and a zombie bite. So technically, if they've diamond handed, then they'll have 3 V2s. So it's not going to be a huge weight difference between the two. But there'll be some other differences, like, initially we'll probably have it so it'll be like the V1 holders will be the ones who can propose votes for the DAO. We're looking to have some paid positions within the DAO, and they'll likely be exclusively for V1 holders as well. And then the other side of it is, like, obviously, like in the future, like whatever happens, it's going to be a lot easier to reward a group of 489 people than it is, 500 or 5,555 people with the V2. So
yeah,
there's always going to be reason to hold V1. That's for sure. I know there's a lot of people. Oh, what happens if V2 does really well, and then well, if V2 does really well and you've got V1, you're still going to win. So yeah, that's kind of that's where we're at with all of that, I guess.
And then, by the way, I think I just noticed I thought you were wearing just a black T-shirt, but it looks like there's some graphics right there, right?
There's a little guy hanging here. If I turn around, I think you can see a big one on the back.
Oh, that's nice.
A little bit of exclusive alpha here on the Shufl Show. So this is it's not finalized, but I've been working and getting some different samples done for some new merch, and this is one that features one of the mutant skins. This guy's all kind of jacked up and muscly, so I don't know, maybe it'll be part of the athletic range. I'm so happy that I get to.
I'm so happy I get to play now, man. This is fun. I have a couple. I realized when you were saying those dates, I was like, wait a second, I'm at a wedding that weekend. But I have a couple of whitelist spots, so I think I'll be okay. I'll be able to figure it out. All right. So look, is there anything else that we should leave them with before we sign off?
No, not really. I mean, I hopefully everyone is really excited by the marketplace. They enjoy the show. Love to get everyone kind of feedback, get people involved, especially with the show. We're gonna have some fun segments coming up. I know that you guys have been working on. So get the community in there, get them simping for shrimp, and combinations for flip, grip, and dip.
Flip, grip,
all this other cool.
Stoned with. We just had stoned with Stef.
You want to get stoned with Stef? If you're in a jurisdiction where it's legal to smoke weed, you can go.
Only legal weed. I mean, it's fun. And now after this, I think it's going to be after this, we have Big Shrimpin'. We got got
Middle Doug coming up.
We got Middle Doug's about to perform here. I mean, come on, folks. This is amazing.
Exactly.
All right. Well, look, Benji, it's been a pleasure. And I'm excited. I'm excited to be part of the show. I'm excited that we're going to have more interaction, and I'll be part of the Goanna team, and I'll be in there, and it's going to be cool. So I'm
stoked to have you on board, man. Thank you. Been a fan of your work for a long time. So it's awesome to have you on board. And let's take Algorand NFTs to the next level. Let's see where we can take this thing.
Yeah, man. Okay, editor, you're gonna edit this part out. Should we throw it to Middle Doug here? Do you think that we'll just play Middle Doug after this, or should we?
I don't know.
Maybe let's just do it just in case we want to, and then they can cut it out.
We have to cut it now.
Now we have to cut it.
All right, we'll leave it in. Just roll with it, right? This is real. You producing and directing in real time here, people. All right, so and now to play out the inaugural Shufl Show, we got live from his studio in somewhere in Florida, Middle Doug and Big Shrimpin'.
Big Shrimpin'.
I'm Middle Doug, and this is Big Shrimpin'. Big shrimpin', prawn grippin', ballin' like Scott Pippen. Rockin' gold beaks since a mingo was snot lickin'. They might be right clickin'. Aw shit, the plot thick as the flock ain't chicken. I'm kidding, we're not trippin'. Low strength fellows reppin' YBGs. On my hype beast with them Trinley tees. Stay well hydrated, mellow yellow IVs. Don't want them eyeballs falling out like zombies. Degenerate scrounge up, last rinse for the lounge. Only skirt birds stick necks in the ground. Put up your doom mask in your Basquiat crown. Next gen ain't 3D, it's ASCII art. Clowns, the flamboyants, the clairvoyant, riding with the top off. Brand new flambeau, Hong Kong, the knockoffs. To be honest, though, I rarely leave the house. Mostly not going out. It's the M-N-G-O-M-N-G-O-M-N-G-O. The M, the N, the G, the O, the M, the N, the G, the O, the M, the N, the G, the O, the M, N, G, O. Birds of a feather flock together at the basement. Quotation, shell station, get filled up on crustaceans. Chilling on the sofa, lo-fi on rotation. Watching the National Basketball Association. Mingles hard to get rest, I blame it on the endless SNES tournaments. Exuding no stress, bored less or rise. Exuding no stress, bored less or rise. Non-toxic, although some blow up Geiger counters. Laserize, vaporize you to fine powder. But I promise us, Mingles are harmless. Look cute in our pajamas. Some come from the Bahamas, from Tunisia to the Yucatan. Woo flam tunes getting cream like Toucan Sam. Put on your sweatbands, let's run it again, fam. In case your bold brain forgot the acronym. It's the M-N-G-O-M-N-G-O-M-N-G-O. It's the M, the N, the G, the O, the M, the N, the G, the O, the M, the N, the G, the O, the M, the N, the G, the O. Basic bunch in the basement. Rainbow grills in the basement. Clean and dirty devils in the basement. Spacemen in the basement. Hypnos in the basement. Monos in the basement. Camos in the basement. Solid gold in the basement. Potheads in the basement. Kenta Koofies in the basement. Pizza heads in the basement. Aliens in the basement. Cyber gang in the basement. Leopard skin in the basement. Acid green in the basement. Top 100 kings in the basement.